the next slide.
Yes, let me share the screen again. I
Thank you.
started the recording. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to give you an example. Let me see what the time is. Good. I'm about 2 minutes or 3 minutes behind time. There are 3 books here that all have lots of verbs. They also have some patterns and some repetition. Over in the Meadow has a lot of repetition. It's that chant, over in the meadow, blah, 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 lives a little, blah, 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 with a blah. Okay. And then there's squirrels sleep, and that is the pattern in that book. But Stop Gently Out is photographed and is a poem with each one of the insects doing a different action. So I'm going to ask the audience, what age group do you think Stop Gently Out fits? Anybody, shout out.
Well, since you said it had photos and you said we can use photos better with adults, then I'm guessing you're suggesting that one.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I've checked. You got it, right? And then Over in the River, the chanting, there's even somebody who sings it online. And Squirrels Sleep, a little bit more infantile in the type of pictures it has. Okay, so let's move to the next. I'm going to keep myself on time. All right, so Maria, you're going to let me give the students, the participants, 1 or 2 minutes to go to one of these 3 books. All 3 of the books are perfect for students to say what's in the book. The first one is definitely for younger kids, and it's a pattern of who hops and 3 animals that hop and one that doesn't. And then the next, who crawls. You notice that crawls has a blend. There's a lot of blends in this book. Crawling, swimming, slithering. Maybe the YouTube video I have, the teacher is just really animated doing the parts of, there's only 4 characters, 3 monkeys and their mother, and it's all dialogue. There's no questions. There is maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. And then what's that, Jack, has a lot of repetition. In fact, every other page, George asks Jack, what's that? So you decide, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to go check out one of these books. What's that, Jack, would be the most appropriate for the older because it's kind of an allegory of surprise and wonder. But the drama and maybe may attract you, or if you have younger kids, I suggest Who Hops. So thank you, Maria, and participants, go for it.
Yes, the 3 links are in the chat already.
Is everybody able to open the links?
I wasn't able to open the links.
You have to open the ones that she sent that,
Right.
not the ones that are on a strip. You can't open those, but then she sent it again.
Oh, okay.
The
All
one
right.
that says NW, yeah.
I think I can open it if you send them on the
Oh, yeah,
chat.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, on the chat. Open them on the chat. The ones that are bigger, not the long skinny strip.
Thank you. Yes, they're in the chat.
Sorry.
I'm gonna give people 3 or 4 minutes to check this out. We're doing great on time.
Okay.
Who's ready to hatch some cool pets? Click here to make your very own monster on Adapted Mind.
Maybe by Chris Houghton.
Carol, is that you? You're not on mute.
Okay, monkeys, I'm off. Now remember, whatever you do, do not go down to the mango tree. There.
Okay, if you can start coming back.
Is it possible to get all of these links on one list?
Oh, yes, and I'm gonna send the PowerPoint at the very end. And so it has all the links. And then the last activity, I'm gonna send you to the list I have on the webpage.
Fantastic. Thank you so
And
much.
it's very easy to find these books on YouTube. If you put the title of you put read aloud and then the title of the book and the author. The problem is some of these very popular books, they have 4 or 5. And these people love to just talk and talk and talk on the internet. And it's like, I just want the book. right? When I started, I launched my YouTube channel December 1st. That's what I did. And then I realized the people don't want to hear me talk. They want the book.
But your recommendation is not that we would show the video with our students anyway. We would get the book from the library and use the book ourselves, right? That's
If you have a library book, right, access, yes. But I give workshops in Cuba. I give workshops in Pakistan. And both of those countries do not have picture books. There's one bookstore in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And in Cuba, forget it. So I read the books once a week. I put up a book on my YouTube channel. I download it, and then in Cuba, I have to give it to them physically because they don't have Google. So if the book is read clearly, like a cool drink of water, why go to the library if that works for you? All right, Maria, let's bring everybody back.
Have you explored the use of library books, online library books, the audio version?
Oh, absolutely.
But do they do that for
Absolutely.
picture books where they show the book and read it at the same time, or do they just give you the audio?
So they give you the picture book, and there's a woman in St. Joseph's Parish in Mississippi who just is a delightful reader. It's all about the book. So for the first time ever, yesterday, I went ahead and downloaded a recording that someone else read, who's obviously trained, not me. And then I just put the beginning saying, here's a great book. It's in the library, but let's hear, so-and-so from St. Joseph's. And then we listen to her and we see her pictures, her showing the pictures. And then at the end, I say for more resources. So it's not up on YouTube yet. My first on YouTube is My Many Colored Days by Dr. Seuss, and someone else reads it. But in her case, she reads beautifully. She doesn't show the lettering very clearly. You have to zoom in. So I would imagine my ESL students, if they don't hear a word correctly, they need to see the text. So we'll see. But yes, I've explored it.
Yeah, you may continue, Miss Anna. They're here.
Okay, good. All right, so I want to see a thumbs up if anyone thinks they might use the book that they decided to check out. See if anybody got anything out of that little, yay, good, okay. So if we have a little bit of time, we'll go back to the 4 books that have, there's only 3 books that have TPR, and we'll do it again. So let's go to the next page of the PowerPoint. Yes, okay. So here is a book that's definitely a topic for what age group? Someone shout out, tell me what age group, given the topic. If no one says it, I'm going to call on someone. Mercedes.
well, it seems like
Older.
Older,
topic.
because it's about the Underground Railroad. And that's not a topic a little kid can handle. And the illustrations, this is the type of illustration that they have. So some of it is dark, right? Because they're, the language is wonderful. Escape, hide, run, sleep, patterned. But the concept is for older people. And the idea of being enslaved and escaping. Beautiful book, beautiful book. Okay, next one. So this book is an allegory, and it never says the word resilience. I've actually even used this with my freshmen at Marymount who are not all ESL students, because I wanted to do a lesson on start with a good book or a good paragraph and then work on it and make your own, so that students who don't have strong writing skills start with small substitution, and eventually we get into larger rewriting. So this book, Perfect Square by Michael Hall, is the one I talked about before, and it's in the passive voice, the whole book, and has a beginning, a middle, and end. It starts as a perfect square that's perfectly happy, and then 6 days of the week, somebody does something to it, but the square never focuses on who does it. It goes on and it makes something good. And then at the very end of the book, it's the end of the week, nothing happens. So whoever was the bully that did this to the square just gave up and moved on to some other victim. And the square is bored, and it makes itself into a window that looks on, and the book reviews everything. It says it looks on the bubbling fountain, and it looks on the mountain, and it looks on the bridge, and it looks on the garden. And it was very happy and decides that the bubbling fountain is its favorite. So here's a book that never uses the academic word resilience, but teaches a lesson, teaches the passive voice, and has its own review. And it leads to learning the days of the week, learning, it has about 10 active verbs, poking, clapping, shattering, but it also has an easy pattern that can be rewritten. So I have everyone in the class pick another shape and rewrite the book. So a heart or a circle, and I let them expand. So even though the pictures are very non-age specific, it works with adults, and it works with a little bit more advanced than absolute beginners because it has the passive voice. I haven't found a good reading of the Perfect Square yet. I think, wait, no, last night I did. Again, I went to that library in Mississippi and she was reading the Perfect Square. Okay, next slide. Keeping myself on target. Okay, this is a participation exercise. One of my absolute favorite poets is Langston Hughes. And this book by people won awards for its photographs. This is such an easy poem to teach. What is the night? The night is beautiful. What are the faces? The faces are beautiful. Who is this poem about? My people. So what is the night? What are stars? What is beautiful? What is also beautiful? And 32 words, easy to memorize. Go to the next slide, please, Maria. What a great book for substitution. So I teach 3-syllable words that can be substituted for beautiful. And when I taught this in Pakistan to older students, they came up with 10 words that had 3 syllables that they like delicious, right? So this group, which one of the words do you want to substitute for beautiful? Do you want wonderful or delightful? Somebody shout out.
Delightful.
Okay, so Maria, can you erase wonderful? Just click it and take out wonderful. And the you see those slats? Those slats are the convention for turn the page. So the night is one page, is delightful is another page. Okay, so now we have so the smiles, hands, hugs, 1-syllable words of some body part. Shout out, which one are we going to pick?
Smiles.
Okay, Maria, can you erase hugs and hands? Okay, and now do we want classmates or family?
Classmates.
Classmates, all right, so we take out family. And now we would recite our new poem. And because the poem has so much repetition, not all students want to repeat. I've had students say, no, but I want the next paragraph to have, wonderful, and the next paragraph to have hands and hugs, whatever. But Maria, go ahead. And the next one, the stars are, somebody shout out, do you want delightful or wonderful?
Wonderful.
Wonderful, okay. Smiles, hands, hugs, somebody shout out.
Hugs.
Hugs, okay, Maria, can you erase? And are we still doing classmates? Let's still do classmates. The whole poem will be about classmates. All right, and the last two lines, wonderful or delightful, or does someone have a new word?
Delightful.
Delightful, okay, so we take out wonderful, and then with the next one?
Wonderful. Delightful.
Okay, so take out delightful. And then take out family, since we're doing classmates. So what's wonderful is they can recite it. They can recite it and have classmates stop and have classmates ask, what is delightful? And then they start their poem. What is wonderful? And they start those verses of the poem. It's just such a good book for anybody who is a beginner and who doesn't know that many words, and you can introduce academic words that are useful. All right, next paragraph. Next PowerPoint. Okay, so we at the right time? Yes, we're at the right time. So now I am going to put 2 resources on the chat. And I'm also going to put the whole PowerPoint, or Maria's going to put it in the chat. Because we never did that page, we never explored the page with the 3 poems. The one with Gently Out and Over in the River and Squirrels Leap. So you might want to go there and explore those. But if we go to page that says resources for breakout time, there are 2 resources that I put in. One is my YouTube channel that has a playlist for younger and a playlist for older. And the other is my web page. And the web page, when it comes up, the first thing is the top of the web page. Forget about that. Go to the bottom and it'll say on the bottom, books for young children, books for blah, blah, blah. And you click one of those and those are lists. And the books are listed, there's about 10 on each page with the strategy. So it'll say who hops, lowest beginners, and then it'll say TPR. And if you click TPR, it gives you a TPR sample lesson. So I wanted you to have time to go to either one of those and find something you like. So Maria, if you can show the PowerPoint.
Sure.
I'm going to leave the PowerPoint up with this sheet. And if someone doesn't want to go to a breakout room, I'll continue. But we're going to have 2 breakout rooms so you can work together with people who do only older and people who do only younger.
Yes, I'm creating the breakout rooms now. So room 1 can be for your YouTube channel. Or for the first link, I already put in the chat, and the room 2 can be for the YouTube channel.
So
I'm gonna
what would be the most useful for the audience?
Dr. Ana Lado.
Would it be most useful to have 2 breakouts, one for younger and one for older?
Yes, group number 1 is going to be for younger.
Okay.
Group number 2 is going to be for older.
Okay, and you select which group you're going to be in.
Yes, it is already created, and I'm going to share my screen once again. Do you all see the 2 rooms?
Actually, I lost.
Do you have to broadcast it? Or can they see it?
It is
You
already
need to open the
created.
rooms. Once you create, open the rooms.
I think
Okay.
maybe, are we allowed to choose our own room or do you have
Yes,
to? find one?
absolutely.
Yes,
Choose
I
your room.
already see one joining room 2, so
Okay,
it's
good.
open. Mhm.
I don't see the option of joining a room.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, people are joining group 2 and room 2-on-1. That's weird.
How are they doing that? Do you know? Oh, maybe we do it from the participants page. Let's see.
Let me see if I do broadcast.
Do we do this from chat?
I
So
don't
this
see
is
the option.
interesting because it should send you each person
Yes.
the option and then you click join. But if it's not sending it,
I can also send you there. So Anna, would you like room 1 or 2?
Ana Silves,
Uh-huh.
Which one is the adult?
Room 2.
Okay, I see the option now.
Okay.
So I'll just join in. Room 2.
Okay, perfect. Carol, Monica, would you like to go to room 1 or 2?
I would like room 2, but I don't see anything on my screen except people's faces. Oh, here it is.
Yes. Christina?
Room 2. Where, how am I? I'm
Perfect.
sorry, I don't know.
Leslie?
Okay. Thank you.
Maria,
We
could you
can hear
please-
you. Yeah,
Good
sorry.
morning. Could you please change the screen sharing so that everyone can share their screen? That way in the break room, we can look at the whole thing together.
good idea. Thank you, Sarah.
Do you know how to do that? If you go on share screen on the
Okay.
main strip
Yes.
and you see the options that everybody can share.
Okay, perfect.
And then if everybody shares, then we all can share. Thanks.
Okay. Ready. Okay, Leslie, would you like to go around room 1 or 2?
Am I the only person who's interested in room 1?
Let me send you there. There's one person there already.
2 people now in room 1.
Yeah.
Now there's 3. Okay.
Margie?
Yes, either one is fine. I'll take one.
Okay. And Neil?
Room 2, please.
Okay, thank you. Ready. Okay. Okay. Woohoo, they
Okay, so
are in
now,
each
yay,
room.
wonderful. Now, can you add my PowerPoint to the chat?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go to the chat.
We're doing really well for time.
Yes, I'm glad. It's 9:57. So do you want me to keep sharing the screen and passing your slides?
Yes, I want to put
Okay.
on the slide. Once you have shared my PowerPoint,
Uh-huh.
then I want to put on the slide that's examples of results from a breakout time.
Okay. Listen, I'm trying to see where to put or how to put the PowerPoint in the chat.
I wish I knew also.
Yes, I don't see an option here.
Shot.
Oh, I didn't set the time for breakout. So you let me know when you want me to
All right, and I'm watching
close
the
it.
time. Yeah,
It's
so the breakout
9:57.
ends at, we're gonna give them 15 minutes.
15? Okay.
Yeah. But we'll come back.
Okay, so let me still see. How do you feel? Good?
Really good. And you know, it's wonderful that 13 people, my 2 students left. But that's okay, because they said, oh, you know, we can't wait to see you, and they saw me, and that's it, right?
Okay.
But that 13 people here, and it looks like, you know, that they're happy.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, so I'm uploading the PowerPoint in the chat already. There it is.
Good.
Perfect.
Good. So yeah, we'll give them like a 2-minute warning, and then I'm gonna show examples on you know, what
Oh,
could be found.
okay.
And then I'm gonna ask people to tell us what,
Mhm.
see where they went, see if they went to,
I have 5 people in room 1. That's for younger. And I have 8 people in room 2.
good, so you know what I will do is I will go to room 1.
Yeah, you can go. Mhm.
And then in 5 minutes, I'll go to room 2.
Perfect. Let me move you to room 2. Yeah, you're muted. Let me. Oh, I see you in room 2.
Okay.
No,
Why
wait.
am I not there?
No yet. No, no, no. Okay, let's see. How can I move you to room 2 participants? Let me see. Okay. Don't you see an option to join a group
There I
2?
am, there I am, there I am. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, hello, welcome back. I think we will be back at 10:20.
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Dr. Lado.
You're welcome, Mr. Lopez. How are you?
Good.
Good. Where are you from?
Okay, well, I'll see you later then.
Hello, Margie. How are you?
Okay, so I left the first breakout group I was in, but I don't know how to get into the other one.
Oh, okay. Did you hear what I say? Sorry, I think I was muted.
No, I would, yeah, I had the mute
Oh
on and
my
sorry.
gosh. Oh my gosh. And I was talking to Mr. Lopez and oh my gosh, I was muted all this time. So let me move you to room 2.
Thank you.
Don't worry. Okay, Margie, let me see where your name is. Okay, it's here. Move to room 2. Great. We'll be back at 10:20, okay? That's what I had said before.
Maria? I'm gonna go. Breakout rooms. Raise hand. Margie, we're gonna try to get the breakout rooms to come back. And now you lowered your hand. All right, people are coming back on their own. Welcome back, yay.
Welcome back. Miss Anna, we have 6 minutes left. Is that okay? Or you want me to call everybody?
Call everybody.
Okay, great.
I think they've seen enough, and then we can just together go back to the PowerPoint and
Welcome back.
welcome back, room one. Room one, come on back. Probably engaged in one of the YouTube videos. So while they're coming back, the on the last screen, I have some other resources, right? But the web page is more work in that you'll have to go check a book, find a YouTube video, but it has lesson plans in it. And it has a lot more books because I think I have 5 or 6 strategies and I have at least 10 books for each strategy. And I have the picture of the book cover. So sometimes that helps in getting it. Okay, so everyone's back. All right. So Maria, if you can, we have a little bit of time to discuss our finds. So remember today we only have examples of these 5: active verbs, questions, repetitive poems, any kind of patterns, sentences, or vocabulary visuals, and reader's theater. So Maria, next page. So I did an example of things that I found when I put this PowerPoint together that would be examples, right? So there's a book by Catherine Ayers that has her reading it online, and this family is in a garden. And for each vegetable, some grow up, tomatoes. So it says tomatoes grow up, potatoes grow down, meaning underground, and cucumbers go around and around. So it has the 3 different types of vegetable plants. And it's not too babyish because the whole family's there, but that would be a great one for TPR and just reenacting. So with this one, there's no verbs. It's up, grow. The only verb is grow. But the up, down, and around is reenactable.
And
is
this on your, is this on your, you know how on your beautiful resource webpage, how you have at the end of the description of an activity, you have a little bibliography or some books that are good for it. Is that one listed?
Yes, absolutely. So that webpage was made, I retired from Marymount this year. So that webpage was made in 22. So what I'm doing on the YouTube is trying to try to show more books for 22, 23, but all of these on this page are in that resource.
Great.
And Feast for
Beautiful
10
resource. Thank you. Beautiful.
is a family that gets together and they go buy 10 things at the grocery store one by one. You know, 1 watermelon, 2 potatoes, 3 corn stalks, whatever. And then they go into the kitchen. It's very simple. And then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then they eat it. And so each page is number and a food item. right? And they can reenact picking up the food items. And the next one, Cassie's word quilt, the video that I have, I explain how to teach vocabulary, and then we read the book. So I also picked up another video on YouTube where they just read the book. And there's 9 words for every 3 pages. So they have a grid with 9 words for her on top of her house, and 9 words for in her bedroom, and 9 words for different places. And all the word cards in that book are written in capital letters. So I show it. And the last one is Mama Cat and Her 3 Kittens, which is for young kids, but it has the perfect, Mama Cat does something like dig, and then Fluffy and Skinny dig, and Boris naps. Then Mama Cat crawls on a wall, Fluffy and Skinny crawl on a wall, and Boris naps. Then Mama Cat, so each one of the verbs is repeated twice. And then at the very end, Mama Cat, Fluffy and Skinny nap, and Boris wakes up and stretches and pounces on Fluffy and Skinny. So it's an easy book to teach without even having to do too much TPR because it repeats itself. So this would be what I hope you get out of this workshop, is resources where you say, that's a good book for my class. All right, so now I want, can we go to the next slide? Maria, can we go to the next slide? All right, so does anybody, we have a couple of minutes, it's 10:20, and I wanted to go to 10:25 where anybody can raise their hand and share something that they really would like to tell the group is a good resource or a good book. So raise your hand, Maria will call on you.
Is it about a book that you use in your classroom?
It doesn't matter. Just share with us. This is your time to share and give other participants a resource.
Okay.
Maybe something you just saw in the PowerPoint or in your breakout groups. Okay, so Margie, you want to share?
Yes, you mentioned so many great ways of teaching, but the ones that I already use are jazz chants.
Yeah.
And the jazz chants do all of what you were saying. They have a pattern, they have a rhythm, they're repetitive. And my students, I just tried it with them and they love it. They love it.
Thank you, Margie. Yeah, I list books in the webpage for jazz chanting. Christina.
Just a comment. I think one of the other benefits of using picture books in your class is for the adults is that you're teaching them how to read a picture book for their own children. Because I find that many times the moms or dads don't feel they're not confident that they are able to read to their children in English. And so it's a nice way to let them practice and then to say, please, now you can take this book home and do the same thing for your children. And it empowers them to do that. And I think that's very important.
Oh, absolutely. And, and I taught a workshop for parents, the index, the glossary, and going from left to right. And the fact that the book, you can just go back to the beginning and do it again. Yeah. Someone else, raise your hand. Carol.
I'd like to absolutely agree with what was just said about enabling parents to read to their children. I've found that my students really like that. And also, just to add, I found that the story, The Three Little Pigs, is known in Central America, where most of my students come from. And to read it in English was fun for them because it has repetition. Little pig, let me come in, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. They like that.
Thank you. And having worked in Pakistan with a large Muslim population, we don't do pigs at all. So it's interesting. So they do Aesop's fables. So when I find an Aesop fable, then we can do it. And someone just asked where the PowerPoint is. My wonderful host, Maria, is going to put the PowerPoint in the chat.
Yes, it's in the chat already.
All right,
But I
thank you,
can
Mona.
do it again if you don't see it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else
you
want
able
to
to
share?
email it? Are you able to email it to us?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
So
that
you
would be
email
great.
me, and on the last page that Maria's going to show you is my email. You email to me, and then I'll just go ahead and send it to you. You know, just sometimes it's just easier to get it in an email. So if no one else is talking, anyone else can share. My book has a database, and it was published in 2012, so none of the books in it, and it's an Excel spreadsheet, but you go to the database, the password is person, and the columns in the Excel spreadsheet are by levels or activities. So it's a little bit of work, but if I can be on the Zoom with you for 2 or 3 minutes and you'll get it. And there's 900 books listed. Then the web page has the click that you click, and then you can click the lesson plan and you get a good description of the title of the book, so you can find it on YouTube. There's a number of books that aren't on YouTube. A lot of the books that I'm going to now put on my own YouTube because I can't find anyone. And the YouTube channel, there's some primitive videos and some not so primitive. I'm getting better. But I'm out there because sometimes you just don't have time to prep, or you go to the library and someone has checked out the book. So you go to YouTube and find it. I have an article published in the Reading Teacher, and that's the link to it. I have another article published in the American Library Association that's only about books about bugs. And finally, if you email me with a specific question, like, you know, I need to have a lesson just on the perfect square or just on the underground. If I have the lesson, I will send it to you. Or someone emailed me and said, we want social emotional books. And it was very easy for me to go to my database and query it and find 4 or 5 books that only talked about emotions and send those to her. So it is just about closing time. Please share any of your other thoughts with me. I was such a joy to see the interest in this resource. And there's nobody else doing this. We are the ones that want books that are good for English language learners. All the other lists are about the culture, listed by cultures, or listed by reading levels. And tellability is the term in sociolinguistics used for conversations for the right students and the right situation at the right level that are engaging. And to engage our ESL students, we need books where the text is the same as the speaking that the teacher does. It's just one example. I had a student in my kindergarten. Her name was Carola. And we went to a museum and they had their name written on them, right? You know, and this guard was saying, Carol, Carol. And she didn't know he was talking to her. And they said, you over there. Or I took my students and we were supposed to get yes, no questions. We went to the major bus stop and they were supposed to ask the bus driver, is this the N15 or is this the J5? And the bus driver says, well, what bus are you looking for? And all they knew was yes or no. So that's why I put these books together, because I know that they don't need the extra words. They need first the words that are right there in pictures and text, and that I'm using because we're doing gestures, or I'm using because we're doing reader theater. Yeah, like the teacher that said, okay, we just read this book, now make it into a reader theater script. Well, the book was in third person. My ESL students didn't know. Anyway, it's 10:30. What a joy to meet you and share with you. And thank you.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
It
you
was
so much.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Unmute your microphones and please a round of applause to Miss Anna. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank
God
you
bless
for
you. God
joining
bless
us
you.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maria.
Let's see each
You're
other again
welcome.
sometime, and don't hesitate to email me.
Okay, thank you.
We will. I
Thank
will
you so
too.
much.
Yeah.
Anna, is your email at Marymount still active?
Oh, yes, I'm emeritus.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks.
If you have any other questions, time is over, but you can remain in the session if you have any other comments, or you're free to go. But thank you so much for joining us today. This wonderful ESL community. I love it.
Thank
I have
you.
one question, sorry. This idea of tellability, is that your idea or is that someone else's?
So, and if you want, I can send you the first chapter of my book because I have it copied. So, a famous sociolinguist, William Labov, and his colleagues, Del Himes, whatever, were talking about how do you evaluate when a conversation is successful or not. And so Del Himes did the speaking, the speakers, the participants, the environment, blah, blah, blah. But then Labov just said a conversation has tellability when it has who is speaking is aligned with who is listening, in what circumstance, and what about. So it's a quote. And people have gone on who are not ESL teachers and gotten to the tellability of a funeral conversation or the tellability, but I'm not interested in that. So I use that term in the true sense, who is speaking with whom, about what, in what circumstance, and figure out what would make a picture book have tellability for an ESL teacher that has beginners.
Okay.
Once they're past beginners, you know, they're just so much easier to teach.
Oh, absolutely. But it's the beginners that need it the most.
Right. So if you want, I can send you the copy of, the only thing I have is the first chapter in a document.
Okay.
Otherwise, the whole book, I don't know, selling for $20 now or whatever. It's available. It's easily available. But
I will too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, also, don't forget about our next webinar is on April 20th at 11 a.m. until noon, and it says, share your knowledge and experience with the community, write for the definite article, by Caitlin Kearney and Marina Dewis. So hope to see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Maria,
Nice to meet you, Christina, Neil, Sarah, Maria,
Same
Anna.
here. Thank you.
I'll stay
Margie.
here.
Maria, I have a question. I can't find in the chat where the PowerPoint is.
Oh, let me do it again. Don't worry.
Because I think I went
Yes.
for the links, but I don't see which one is what.
Yes, I'm gonna share. Well, I don't know if sharing the screen can show you the chat we have, but let me do it just right now once again. So you can see the last message, or you can see it as the last message. Oh, wait, this is a direct. Okay, let me do meeting.
Oh, right. Now I see it.
Do you see it? Okay, perfect.
Thank you so
Yay,
much.
all right, Anna. Yeah,
Thank
because the
you.
links are in the PowerPoint, and there were more links than we actually got to. But yay, we had a time to like just share.
Oh,
Yes.
it was fabulous. I can't even tell you how much I enjoyed your wonderful sharing of your wonderful knowledge. Was great, really great. I have a question.
And your resources. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and the resources. But I'd like to ask one question, quick one. I teach. My co-teacher is British, and what kind of explanation, if any, do the students need, or are they just really learning two different accents?
So it turns out that by age 2, the part of your brain that is the listening part adjusts to people. So before age 2, they don't really get it, but after age 2, so your students are more than age 2, their brains will adjust.
Okay.
They will
Okay. So,
adjust.
so they're adults, and I'm wondering if it's sort of like if you have monovision with near vision in one eye and far vision in the other, your brain just knows to switch it for what you're looking at. This is like for what you're listening to, your brain just switches it.
So it's very interesting. It doesn't switch it until your brain interacts enough in the new language to say, I can't be listening in my old language. So that's why watching TV does not work for creating the new center. So behind your ear, you have your center for each language, and your brain doesn't start a new language until over 80 hours of interaction, where you're butting your head against the wall, and you say, when are you leaving? Where are you living? It sounds the same to me. And then all of a sudden your brain says, oh, this language must have final consonants in its syllables. And then all of a sudden, when are you leaving? And where are you living? Leaving, living. So the Spaniards, but it is 80 hours total of interaction where you're butting your head against the wall. So if you're only doing ESL 1 hour a week, it takes weeks before your brain stops listening in the old language.
Well, it's very interesting because I have beginners that are recent immigrants and refugees. So I taught them just recently how to say things and understand things the way people actually say them, not the way they're written. So what do you say? What are you doing? Stuff like that. And I think that might help them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, since our brain is a meaningful communication machine, if you're interacting with them in the here and now in a meaningful way, the brain captures so much. And the little accent thing, when I went to, Australia or whatever, they made such a big deal about, oh, well, we don't say, apartment, we say flat. The brain doesn't care. The brain doesn't care. It gets the idea and says, oh, there's 2 words for it. And a few books on my list are British or are Australian, and they say mum instead of mom. The brain doesn't care.
Right.
The very, very beginners are confused by everything, but no, they quickly get it because the whole purpose of the brain is how is the meaning, how is the form. This form is the actual mum or mom, meaning, and then use. So without use, you're not going to learn the form and the meaning. So the 3 go together. So those interactions you have where you're asking them questions, you've got it. You've got a form, you've got a meaning, and you're using it.
Yeah. So the more they use it, the more they learn it. And yeah, this has been so useful for me. Thank you so much.
Oh, I loved being here.
I think they understand the concept of different accent very well when you bring it up in their own languages. I have Spanish speakers from different countries, and they know they all speak Spanish, but their Spanish is different. They still can understand each other, even though they use different words for a trash can in every Spanish-speaking country, and they use different pronunciation for certain things. Same thing with my students who speak Arabic. Egyptian Arabic is different from Saudi Arabian Arabic, and they say, the same thing with English. Even within the United States, we have so many differences. And as English is my second language, I can tell you it just comes with time. At first, I couldn't understand the difference between people from South, North, and my American friends will point out, can't you hear they from Massachusetts? And I say, no, it's still English. All I hear is English. And now when I've been here for almost 15 years and have traveled around, I can point it out and say, oh, these people are from New Jersey and these people are from Pittsburgh, because I can hear the difference now. before, like Anna said, my brain just would not get it.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
3-year-old can understand the difference between the British and American accent because we watch a lot of British TV.
Thank you so much for sharing, Anna. Thank you for coming.
Thank
Oh,
you.
And thank you
wonderful.
for sharing.
Have a
Thank
great
you
day.
again.
Bye-bye.
All right, Maria, what a wonderful host. I got you to
Oh my
work.
gosh.
I
Let
got
me,
you to work. But look, everyone was so happy.
yes, they were happy. I'm just gonna stop recording.